Welcome to Reddit Reddit AITA, where Opie refuses to buy a new car for the most accident-prone stepdaughter ever. Story 1. AITA for refusing to make my daughter apologize to a girl she made mad. My daughter 11F had a soccer game today, and I 39M was able to take her. I also took one of her teammates 11F home from their game as well. This girl and my daughter are kind of friends, but they aren't super close, and IMO the girl can be kind of mean sometimes, and she was on a ride home. My wife and I still have our daughter in a high-back booster seat, even though it's not a legal requirement at her age in our state, and this girl doesn't use one. She started making fun of my daughter's booster seat, saying things like, "You're a big baby, and you sit in a baby's seat." My daughter got upset, but then told this girl, "I like my booster seat. I can see out the window a lot better than you can with it. And I have my own seat in the car, just for me with my own cup holders and a special place for my snacks." She then proceeded to show this girl the secret compartment her booster seat has that she keeps her snacks and sometimes toys in. This made the girl stop teasing my daughter about her booster seat, and the rest of the ride went okay. We dropped the girl off at her house, and then we went home. But later I got a call from the girl's mother. She was furious with me, saying that her daughter came home and said my daughter was very mean to her and made fun of her for not having a booster seat. I told her that her daughter wasn't being very nice, and maybe if she was nicer to my daughter, this wouldn't have happened. But this just made her more mad. She said I was a terrible father and still insisted I make my daughter apologize to her daughter, but I still refused because I don't think my daughter has anything to apologize for. Since then, she has sent me a few angry text messages demanding I make my daughter apologize. AITA? Story 2. AITA for not giving my friend one of the freebies for my skincare order. So I ordered a bunch of stuff during a skincare sale, and they were doing this promo where if you spent over a certain amount, they gave you 3 mystery gifts. I didn't know what they were going to be, but I was excited because I've been broke and haven't treated myself in a while. When a box came, I opened it with my friend there, and the gifts were actually kind of nice. A lip mask, a jade roller, and this little overnight cream I've been wanting to try. I was like, OMG cute, and set them aside with the rest of my stuff. Then my friend just casually picks up the lip mask and goes, "Oh, this is so nice. Thanks for saving this for me." I laughed because I thought she was joking, but she was literally putting it in her purse. I said, "Wait, no, I didn't say you could have that." And she goes, "Okay, chill. It's just a freebie." I told her, yeah, it was free, but it still came with my order, and I was kind of looking forward to using it. She got all weird and said I was being stingy and that if you didn't pay for it, it's not even a real gift. I didn't even know how to respond to that. I'm not mad. I just feel kind of awkward now, and like maybe I overreacted about something small, but also it was mine. AITA? Story 3. AITA for not buying my stepdaughter a new car after she's repeatedly gotten into accidents. My stepdaughter is not a good driver. She was not a good driver when she was a teen, and certainly not as an adult. When she was first learning to drive, she did very fast hard brakes. She repeatedly left her car's lights on or left her car unlocked. When she first got her permit at 16, we gave her 2 rules. We would help buy her first car, but she'd be on her own for car insurance, gas, and upkeep. If she wanted a car, she needed to be the sole caretaker of it, and it was on her to ensure she was taking good care of it. Her brothers had the same rules. 3 months into her being 17, she got in her first accident. It was her first time driving in the ice, and she slid. Her car hit another car. It was not a serious accident, but it caused roughly $1,000 in damages. Her car drove for another 2 months, but the transmission went out eventually. She bought it at 160-ish miles, so none of us were surprised it didn't last very long. When she was 19, she was in another car accident. While on the highway, a semi-truck tried to merge while riding next to her. She sped up, and during it, another car tried to merge right as she sped up. The car was totaled. Outside of whiplash and minor wrist injuries, she was okay. Because of this accident, we made her get her own insurance because our payment went up. 3 weeks ago, she was involved in another accident. Again on the highway, she was passing on a ramp in a car coming on hydroplaned and lost control of the ladder in the back of its pickup truck. It again totaled her car. It could not leave the scene, and we had to get her to bring her back to her college. The other driver broke his collarbone, and she has whiplash, a shoulder injury, and some facial damage that should heal in the next bit. The police officer told her that it was not her fault, but obviously we have to wait for the insurance to make that call. When she got home from the ER, she asked for us to help her purchase a new car. She said that it's not practical for her to constantly walk everywhere until she could afford a new car. She makes $21 an hour as a CMA at a nursing home, so it won't take her long to buy a cheap car. From her apartment, she is about 1.5 miles from college, 0.25 miles from a grocery store, and 4 miles from her job. I think for the time being, she can walk, ask for rides from friends, or use an app. We don't have public transportation, but lots of sidewalks. She can walk the entirety from her apartment to class, most to a store, and on and off from her job. My husband wants us to purchase a new car and have her pay us back. I don't think this is the right move. To date, the only time we have ever helped buy a car is when they all started driving, and we only paid half. She only saved $2,000 for her first car, so we only gave $4,000 for a new car. One of her brothers saved up $10,000, so we gave $10,000. If we start doing this now, we will walk down a very expensive path. I have gotten mixed reactions from others. Thoughts? Am I the asshole? Story 4. AITA for excluding a family with a badly behaved, autistic child from the neighborhood pool party? I host a monthly pool party/barbecue for the neighborhood families. I buy about $200 in steaks, hot dogs, and drinks, book the community party room, and send out invites and reminders. It's become a great way for the adults to connect and catch up while the kids swim and play. One of the neighborhood boys doesn't behave appropriately. I splashes kids in the face when they ask him not to, pushes kids into the pool, calls them names, growls at kids if they win a game, doesn't follow the rules of games, and such. It's unpleasant for the other kids, and he makes the younger ones cry. His mom yells and threatens to take him home, but she doesn't, so he continues misbehaving. I'm not well informed on autism. However, my stance is that the parents are responsible for ensuring their kids behave appropriately or removing them. Instead, other parents have to get involved to yell at the kid to leave theirs alone or comfort their crying kid. After the last party, 2 of the kids asked me not to invite that boy again because he ruined the day for them. I agree with them and believe that as part of my responsibility of hosting is to create a guest list of people who add positively to the event. My husband disagrees because 1, he thinks I should first bring up the issue to the boy's parents and give him one more chance. 2, we can't actually exclude them since it's a community pool. And 3, he's just conflict avoidant and doesn't want to ruin relations with neighbors. What do you think? Would I be the asshole? Update. Thank you all for the advice. I decided to speak with the parents and tell them that I'm in a difficult position as the event host who wants to ensure my guests' safety and enjoyment. I'll explain the impact on my guests when the mom didn't remove the misbehaving boy and that I'm now hesitant to host another event. I'll listen to their response, hopefully apologetic and proactive, and go from there. For those of you debating whether I can or can't ban the family from the community pool, that's not the point here. My question was about the etiquette around not inviting someone to a recurring event. Story 5. AITA? Husband hasn't spoken to me for 3 weeks. So 3 weeks or so ago, my husband was talking about his diet, and I mentioned about how he should have more fiber in it. And he was like, how do I get more fiber? And mentally, I thought we both have access to Google, but I didn't want to be rude, so I replied with the answers. And he goes, you wouldn't make meals like that for me, would you? And I responded, I'm your wife, not your mother. He said it was an extremely rude thing to say and hasn't spoken to me in 3+ weeks. For context, we have 3 children, and he is only here for a day and a half a week as he works away, so he would have expected me to bulk cook on the weekend for him to take with him. My response wasn't meant maliciously, and I haven't apologized because I genuinely meant it. We have been together for 15 years, and it genuinely made me feel so resentful. The way he said it, and the expression was puppy-doggish, and it made me feel like he was manipulating me. He can never be bothered to research or implement for his health, even though he's a highly intelligent and capable man. I guess I feel frustrated he will pour everything into work, 15-hour days, etc. But on the home front, the boring day-to-day, it's all on me. This isn't the first time he's gone silent, but I usually always make good or apologize, and this time I haven't. It's just so awkward, and the longer it goes on, the more resentful I feel over it. He's pretty much my only solid adult interaction in person, both physically and mentally, and I feel super alone, but also sorry for him, because he must really be a sad and cruel person to inflict this on another person. Writing this has made me realize just how deeply unhappy I am with him, lol. But anyway, AITA, thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day. Ciao.